Now we come to the eyes. Now this is a tricky area, as you can imagine. So to prepare yourself for it, I always do the surround first. But what's tricky about it is you've got to remember which is which here. And it's so easy with all these lines to put the wrong one in. Now I know you can rub them out, but that's not really the answer. So the first thing I put in is the obvious one, which is the white. Now the white goes in there and it just there, so it matches this side. And that gives me then a guideline, because if anything goes wrong, it's easier to rub the white out than it is the darker colours. Now I've got to bring the surround of the eye down to about there, and you'll see that why that is later on. So I'm going to build the now let's be careful, because that there is a dark line. Constantly, when you're doing anything like this, constantly refer to your photograph or the reference picture. Don't imagine that you know where it is. Be sure. Now all through here. I mean, it wouldn't be too serious if I did go over the dark lines with my ivory, but it's better not to. There we are. Now that I'll just bring it down so it's flush. That's the ivory in. Now we're going to put the ochre on top of that, tentatively at first, because there's a lot of shading in here, so it's best to creep up on it. Now I won't bother with that side for the moment. I'll just show one side. Now you see that I'm twiddling it here. I'm doing that because you can't actually put furring at the moment. I might well try that with sharp pencils later on, but for the moment I'm just concerned with the tones. Now while we're there, let's just build these little spots up around the eye, which are really attractive with my 182. That's it, that's got it all. It's got it all in there. Now this area here, what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to put just a little 182 in, because I'm going to put a grey on top of it. And all that again will make sense to you as you see the finished picture. And round through here and here. Now that, folks, is basically all the colours there filled in except for the eye. But as I said, I'm not doing the eye at the moment. Now I'm now going to bring in my grey, and I'm going to put the grey on top of the ochre, the 182 here, and that all filters through out here. It kind of fades out when you get to. That's the reason I'm being so careful on the edges. As you bring the darker colours on, you'll see that in more evidence. And there's quite a lot of grey over the snout area too. So it's a good idea now to start thinking of that too. Yeah, that'll do. Fine. Now that's a very good setup for me now. And what I'm going to do now, I won't do two eyes because it is basically repeating it. I'm just going in with my brown. It's a very unusual markings on this tiger. They are accurate, and I took it from the original photograph that I took at Howlett Zoo Park in Canterbury. So I know it's accurate. That's fine. Now then, here we go. Take your life in your hands, Cole. You've got to go around that eye now. Just carefully keeping to the inside line. You see, I'm not going over the top of that because I don't want to spoil the eye itself. Okay. Yep. It's going to be quite dark through here. And this is the area that I was talking about where it fades. Now just watch this as I do this. I've got all my undercolours on there, so all I'm doing is just very, you can't tell that, but I'm actually lifting the pencil slightly off the paper, lightening it up, and therefore we get this fantastic grading effect through there. There, look at that. And that will then very lightly filter in through here, and of course we'll be doing it through here, but I won't worry about that at the moment. That can be all done later on. It's the eye I'm concentrating on. Now I'll do that side to match it up, and then we'll do the two eyes. Right, now for the eye itself. Start off by putting the highlight in white. And what I'm going to use then is an ivory just underneath there. This is just to lighten the bottom half of the eye where it's catching more of the light. And then a new colour we haven't used yet, which is the ochre. This is yellow ochre, 183. Now where it hasn't got ivory underneath it, you see it's quite a strong yellow. But as we come down and we bring it into the ivory base, it lightens up. So immediately you get the effect you're looking for. And then you build on that effect. Do the same on the other side. Once again, when that touches the ivory, you see how much lighter it becomes. Okay, that's it. We can always go back with ivory again if we needed to later on. Now I'm going to use the 182 and just go over the top of the yellow ochre because we want to darken it a little bit. And then when we bring it down, we lighten it off. Not quite so obvious down there. Keep that light. Same way here. In the corner. Now the eye itself, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put just a little bit of ochre on that pupil. But the main colour there is going to be 177. Go around the highlight. That's important. I know people do put the highlights in afterwards, but it's never worked for me. That's one. Do the other one. It's a good idea if you can to do two eyes together. Now just check. Are they looking in the same direction? The way you do that is you put your hand over it. I'm not touching that picture, by the way, so don't panic. I'm leaving my hands off it. I go like that, and I go like that. And if they're looking in the same direction, which they are, I've cracked it. Now this is one of the most interesting parts of it. What we've got to do now is to darken the top of the eye. So I'll carry on with my 177. Link that up there. See the importance of having the surrounded now. You can put it all together. I'll go up here. And here, it's quite interesting actually. What happens here, it does a little dinky bit like that, which I always loved on this picture. Tiny bits like that. Doesn't take a lot to please me, does it? Now, I'm savouring this moment because I love this bit. What I do now is to bring down, I'll do each section separately. Oh, that's lovely. Look at that. Do the same thing the other side. And once again, ever so light touch, bring it down. Now, have you ever seen anything so magical, folks? Isn't that lovely? I mean, you can tidy it up later on, but the important thing is we've got the effect. And here, again, leaving quite light in that corner for some reason. I follow the reference picture closely when I'm doing something like this. I don't want an error. And just here, it was a little darker for some reason. Terrific. Now before I forget, I'm just going to tidy that bit up. And what you do is you just put the colour back in again just to freshen it up a little bit. Pencil blending now. One pencil blending, another colour in. Like that. And then we bring in the black for the pupil. Check. Yep. And dark. Now this time we can bring it down. I haven't put black on this section yet. I can now do that, which will bring the eye alive. Bring it round like that. And then, just as before, but not quite so far, we just filter that through. Isn't that beautiful, that bit? People say to me, God, you make it look so easy. But look at what I'm doing now. You're seeing everything and not leaving anything to chance here. What I'm doing is taking my time, constantly looking at the reference picture, and being delicate with it. And then just round here. There's a little bit there that I might as well pick up on when I'm here. Now, here we've got to go back in with the ivory. Right, I'm back in with a nice sharp ivory, and we just start off at the lightest point and then filter it, grade it off into dark. Terrific. Same again the other side. Perfect, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. What I'm going to do now is just, wrong colour, just going to use my 182. What I'm doing is just fusing the edge of the eye there. And the other thing I want to do is to just make it a little darker, just there, with the black. Delicate old job this, but really important. 182. We're just really making it the best I could possibly do. Now that's really nice. I just feel like a little more black is needed in pupil area. There we are. I'll do the other side in a minute. But what I want to show you here is, just before I do, I just realised that what I need to do is to go around the edge just as I did with the pupil around there. I need to, when you have a dark, like black is one of the worst, edge against the light, you have to kind of cushion it. And what I'm actually doing is using the 182 on both the eye and the black. And it does take a little bit of work, to get it just right. But when you get it right, it looks gorgeous. Like that looks stunning now. Well, I think I didn't like that. It picked up a little bit of black. Ooh, a little bit of work to do now, Colin. It's good that you see these things, though, because you think, oh, he just does it straight away, he never makes a mistake. Well, it's not really a mistake, it's just something that, a little unfortunate, but that's corrected itself. I've done things like this in the past, and whilst I've annoyed it the first time I do it, I can make it look even better in the end. Now, what I'm going to do now is get the white pencil and just fade it out, so strong there and then fade it like that. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to turn it upside down, because I want to show you how I put those eyelashes in. Now we've got to go that way, so I've got to twist the picture around so that I'm actually pushing. Okay. Okay, now what we do, I've already put, I better show you what I've done. I've already put on the right, on the edge of here, a little bit of grey to cushion the eye, and I also put just a little touch of 182. Okay, so that's going to look stunning when I turn that around the other way. Now, I'm not going to use this white for that, I'm just going to use another white which is not quite so sharp, so I don't want to lose my point. Sometimes when you turn it up like the other way, you can see things and think, oh, well, I'll just adjust that while it's here. And when you turn it round, you see why you did it. That's it. Okay, ready to go. Now, this is a bit scary because you've spent all that time doing it, and you're going to now put sharp pencils on, but in my opinion, you ruin it if you don't do it. It's a little bit unpredictable, in as much you can't actually totally control what you do. But then that's the nice bit. I think that will do. Let's see what that looks like when it comes around the other side. Oh, beautiful.